Is the rate lock-in mentality finally starting to break for homeowners? KXL real estate expert Rick Sadle with Keller Williams Realty and SadelRealEstate.com is with us. Rick, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, here we are, 3 to 5 years or so out of the historical 30-year fixed mortgage rates situation that we saw, during the pandemic and so forth. So what are you hearing these days about this lock-in mentality?
Yeah, so for quite a while, we had that, like you said, that rate lock-in effect, right? Meaning a lot of people had super low interest rates on their mortgage and they didn't want to give them up. In fact, some stats say recently that over 72% of mortgages have rates under 6% and over 50% have rates under 4%. So a lot of people didn't want to give up those low rates and buy a new house and get a higher rate. Well, what we know is people don't buy and sell because of rates, right? People buy and sell due to life circumstances. So while a lot of people have been holding off selling their house due to high rates, they haven't decided not to, right? Well, now that dam is starting to break. People are deciding they just can't wait for the rates to come down. Life circumstances have dictated that it's time for them to kind of get off the bench and into the game.
Indeed, they might be enjoying a ton of equity thanks to that situation as things fluctuated when it comes to housing prices, Rick, and increases with all that equity. How does that come into play?
Yeah, I mean, over the past 5 or 7 years, price increases have created a ton of equity, which means a lot of people are just sitting on money in their houses, which also means that even though they might have a higher interest rate, people have, when they sell, a ton of cash to kind of offset that higher interest rate. It also means people who want to access that equity for any number of reasons, right? Remodel, any kind of home improvements, they're going to have to give up that low rate to access it anyway. So let's face it, I don't know that we'll see rates in the fours again in my lifetime. In fact, we never should have seen them in the threes or fours. It's just starting to change.
Right. How about first-time home buyers, Rick? How do they play into this, and how do they break through?
Well, I think this is good news for all buyers, right? Including first home buyers, right? More choices means price growth will continue to slow. It'll give more people more choices on what houses they want to buy. And like I said, while we won't see the rates down in the threes or fours again, they will continue to go down. So I think it's just going to get easier and easier for first time home buyers.
All right. So the bottom line, this lock-in mentality here. Are home buyers and sellers at a point, Rick, where they understand things are just, frankly, more expensive now?
Yeah, I think so, right? I call it people's financial thermostat, right? They got acclimated to certain mortgage rates, and it's taken people a while to reacclimate to the new norm, right? Our context was so skewed by the pandemic and 3% rates that it was a pretty big shock to the system when they went up so quickly and dramatically. But I think people are getting used to it now.
All right. Great stuff. Rick, thanks for being with us.
Ah, sure. Thanks.
That is Rick Sadle, KXL real estate expert with Keller Williams Realty and SadelRealEstate.com.